Well, it's been a little while since we've actually been able to talk about GLAAD. Like everybody knows that company GLAAD because we spoke about GLAAD quite often during Pride Month. GLAAD was all over the news, everywhere to be seen. They were talking about every single movie and TV show. They were talking about representation for trans people, etc., etc., etc. They were everywhere. And then they went a little bit quiet, like what normally happens after Pride Month because, not as much money in the other months, but still, they went a little bit quiet. But now apparently the CEO, Sarah K. Ellis, who is probably the least diverse person in all of GLAAD as a company, is now talking about the fact that transgenders are apparently underrepresented in Hollywood. And not only saying they're underrepresented, they're also saying that the reason for them being underrepresented is because of political pundits. They're blaming people who have opposite political views for the reason why studios are apparently not using trans people in their TV shows and movies. I think it's pretty damn ridiculous. So let's get into this article, guys, from Bounding Into Comics. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing to my manga channel. The links are in the description box below. I would love to see you there. So the headline reads, GLAAD CEO Sarah K. Ellis pushes narrative that transgenders are underrepresented in Hollywood and claims political pundits are to blame for spreading misinformation about the trans community. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's everybody else's fault. It is not the fault of the people in question. No, no, no. It's everybody else's fault, and everybody else is the reason why trans people are being held down from Hollywood, even though we know that is not the case. We have seen so much identity politics being thrown into TV shows and movies that trans people are usually front and center with every single discussion happening around diversity, equity, inclusion, etc., all that nonsense. So it says Sarah K. Ellis, president of the LGBTQ watchdog GLAAD, I like that, has called on Hollywood to create and write more about the transgender community, claiming that it is the political pundits who give transgender people a bad reputation. That is complete nonsense. You know who gives transgender people bad reputation? The activists in the transgender community. That's the ones who give them a bad reputation, because let's be real, they are absolutely insane. If you look on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, if you don't even have to look on X. If you look at all of these videos going around that go viral about fake transgender people who are using literally any chance they get to try to bring up pronouns and misgendering and all this nonsense. You got someone on Twitter, I don't know their name, I just know that they purposely go to restaurants in an attempt to get some waiter or someone to misgender them, so then they can go on a whole tirade about misgendering and make an entire video about it and profit off of it. All of these people, these grifters, these trans grifters, they're the ones who are creating a bad reputation for you. It's not the people who disagree with the trans movement. It's not the people who maybe don't agree with the lifestyle. No, it's the people who are in the community that are just too damn loud. They don't know when to shut the hell up. They don't know when to take the win and keep on moving. They just got to go for more and more and more and more. And those are the people that are ruining your reputation. So again, this is coming from the least diverse person in the entire company. This person is literally as they would call it, a cis white female. Okay, this is a cis white female, and she's leading the charge for the diversity, equity, and inclusion within GLAAD. It's really stupid. It says in a recent interview with Variety, Ellis referred to what she perceives as transgenders being underrepresented in Hollywood, noting that we have seen those watershed moments for lesbian, gay, and bisexual representation, whether it was Ellen DeGeneres coming out or Will and Grace. What we don't have yet is a watershed moment for the trans community, she decried. I see this opportunity as a chance to speak to the Academy and all the creators in the room to say that we need that moment. Why do you need that moment? Why do any of you need this moment? Like, why is it that the most important thing for you as a LGBTQ activist is for everyone to know who you sleep with? Why is that the most important thing for you? Why does that put you above everybody else in the entire world? Like, how does that put you on a pedestal? It is the easiest thing to do. You either whip it out or you spread your legs. It is the easiest performance to do, and yet you want maximum achievement for it. You want maximum recognition for it. It is literally the easiest fucking thing to do in this life. So then why do you want to be put on a pedestal for something that is so easy to do? This is why nobody takes the $30 an hour fast food worker argument seriously, and nobody's going to take this seriously either, because both of them are stupid. Both of them are based on some of the easiest jobs to do, and you want maximum recognition for it. It's stupid. It says, Ellis encouraged, we need you to create and write about trans people because there were over 500 anti-LGBTQ bills proposed this past year, and most are against trans people and trans youth. Before she went to basically claim political pundits of spreading misinformation about the transgender community. Well, if you want to call them anti-LGBTQ bills, you need to be very specific about what you're talking about. You are purposely leading out information in those bills that a lot of people have problems with because you know if you start talking about those issues, most people, most normal people are going to have an issue with it. For example, the trans youth thing. Most people have a problem with surgeries happening under 18 years old against young people who will usually grow out of their mental illness that they're experiencing at the time. And yet you want them to make permanent decisions about like chopping off certain body parts because that fuels not only the surgery movement, right, which makes a lot of money, but it also gives Big Pharma a victim for life. It gives Big Pharma someone they can make so much money on for the rest of their life. And you want these kids, these young kids, to make these decisions and say that, oh, it's for their gender identity. No, it's for your political beliefs. It's for your pockets. It's for your money. That's what it's about. If you follow the money, you will find all roots of evil, whether it's in corporations, government, whatever the case may be, even personal people. If you follow the money, you will find the truth behind most political activism or whatever the case may be. So it says, but what's taking up that space in the media right now are political pundits who are talking about trans people with misinformation and in negative ways. The GLAAD president accused, we need Hollywood to be the antidote to that. Why does Hollywood have to be the antidote to that? Why don't you actually try to get political activists in the transgender community who aren't complete psychopaths? The reason why you don't do that is because you can't find any. That's the issue. You can't find any. All of them, every single one of them are insane. They are literally mentally ill. That's the issue. They're nuts. And you cannot find anybody that can have some sort of an argument without going into feelings or just going crazy or trying to attack someone. You can't find it. So now you want Hollywood to make up a fake image of trans people and to try to trick the normies into believing that you guys are not mentally crazy. That's what you want. You want Hollywood to basically create this fake narrative, and they're not going to do that very willy-nilly unless you pay them, and they are definitely going to get paid for it. Let's be real. This is why there's so much fake diversity in Hollywood TV shows and movies right now, because their ESG scores are based on that. Their funding is based on that. What kind of loans they can get as a company or a studio is based on that. So yes, if you pay them enough, they will do it. But the fact that you want more stories, more than what you're already getting, is ridiculous, because you know that you cannot create a real narrative because there is no real narrative there. The only real narrative is that they're psychopaths, and you're trying to create this entire story that they're not. You're trying to say, oh, we're lying, we're just spreading misinformation, etc., etc. No, I feel bad for these people who are buying into the lie. They are buying into the story because they don't even realize that they're becoming victims for life. They are literally fueling Big Pharma and getting abused, and they have no idea. They really have no idea. It says, during her acceptance speech at the Television Governors Award on Monday night, Ellis doubled down on her stance, admitting the woke advocacy organization's goal is to influence audiences by including more LGBTQ characters in movies and television. What the world sees on TV directly influences how we treat each other and the decisions we make in our living rooms, schools, at work, and at the ballot box. There it is. There it is. At the ballot box, bro. There is always, it's always tied to politics, man. It's always tied to politics. They don't give a shit about the rest of this, bro. They don't give a shit about none of this. They only care about this part right here. It influences people at the ballot box. So all they're trying to do, ladies and gentlemen, is trick you into their vote. They're trying to make sure that you vote the right way. Vote blue no matter who. So that way Big Pharma can keep taking your money and keep making your kids into victims. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.